going to come back and just talk very briefly about social finance in the West Midlands. We consider this to be one of the key areas of social enterprise that we work in. As I said, this is the third event. Started off with the launch of Big Society Capital back in Wolverhampton at one of our members, All Saints Action Network. We then rolled on and did a very huge social finance fair. There was over 200 people at that last year. And then this is our third event. And I suppose the question is, well, why do we do it? Jim asked me not to say something earlier, and he should probably know me well enough that the more you tell me not to do something, the more I'm going to. So he said, don't say, give us your money, okay? So I'm going to say, give us your money, but I'm going to say it with a caveat, okay? And the caveat is that we cannot expect to turn up to anybody and say, give us your money because we do good things. All right, it has to be about the products and services that we sell. We do good business. That is what social enterprise is. It is good business. However, to be better businesses, to be more sizable and scalable businesses, creating more job opportunities and putting more back into the local social economy, we have to accept and understand that social investment is the route that we need to travel to be able to do that. If we worked in mainstream organisations, we would consider that to be par for the course. And that's why Social Enterprise West Midlands works in this space, because we want it to be the natural journey that social enterprises embark on as they look for scale. So for us, there is a little bit of a role around education and engagement. How do we get more people to understand what types of finance are out there? I would not call myself a social finance expert. There are still lots of times I'm in meetings or events where I think, no, I really don't understand what we're talking about at this moment. But I do feel that as time has gone on, we have been able, Social Enterprise West Midlands has been able to articulate much more clearly where the opportunities for our members and for those supporters that we work with are. For many people sitting in the audience, you may well know that you need some level of investment. You may not know what type of investment will work best for your business. And it is by bringing the exhibitors together, we hope that you can start to ask those questions. You can start to talk to the people that are sat by you, the peers. Some of them may have received investment. And then the other thing that we will do, we will never put on an event without sharing some best practice, because we want to provide some case studies of people that have travelled this journey and who have understanding. There will be people in the room. Please share their knowledge and expertise. So I talked a little bit about developing the market, and I often refer to Social Enterprise West Midlands as the glue. We're the bits that stick all the different bits together. And where I see our role here, not only in education and engagement, is in helping to shape and develop the market. And I see us as having a strategic role at the top and the bottom of that development. So at the top, at one end, we're trying to encourage new markets for investment for people like Big Society Capital to supply the social intermediaries that sit beneath them to be able to lend more money. It's rare, actually, to be able to stand here and say that there's plenty of money available. It may not feel like that to you, but there is plenty of money, social money available. The issue really is in accessing that money, being ready to access that money, and about the appetite for investment. And so this afternoon session, which is a closed session open to housing associations or housing organisations only, is designed to try and stimulate that discussion. Those of you that know me well will know that I'm an ex-retailer. I often do my joke about not sure how I got here, but I'm an ex-retailer, ex-fashion retailer. We would never have started a new development in a shopping centre without an anchor tenant. And I think that we should think of our housing associations in exactly the same way. They are the community anchors often in any piece of regeneration or enterprising activities we want to do with those areas that perhaps have some of the most challenging aspects. We want to encourage our housing associations to access social finance so that that money can flow through to communities. And that's part of the discussion we'll be looking to have this afternoon. At the bottom end of the market, we need to talk about this. I talked about that data survey, didn't I, from last time round. So last time, 40% of the people that came that were surveyed, and we did do over 100 survey responses, said they were looking to borrow money within the next 24 months. Okay? If you actually put the somewhat likely into that, it was 2/3. You know, so I think it demonstrates there is appetite for investment. So if I say that and then I say there's plenty of money available, we shouldn't have any problems, should we? We should be able to make that match. But it's not quite that simple. And this is part of the issue. Most of the social finance investors that are in the room today all are probably hoping to lend or would like to be lending in advance of £250,000. Some of them probably could make deals work at around 150k. Some of them might be able to do other kinds of work. And as you can see from this graph, it's where we have the challenge is that on average, we've got more than 30% of the people who actually want to borrow less than 100k. And we have a big appetite, almost 20%, that want to borrow less than 50k. And that's where the gap in the market exists. And we've been doing some work at the bottom end of the market to try and help. One of the things that happened as a result of the last social finance conference is that Michael Norton from Buzzbank, I know Buzzbank are here today, came to me and said that he'd been having some ideas about what we might do to work in this space. And as a consequence, we gathered together a range of partners, which include Charity Bank, Social Business Trust, Alia, Buzzbank, Aspire. There's a group of about 15 partners which you can find on our website. And we started to talk about what could we do that would be innovative. And we came up with an idea to offer a mix and match range of investment support. So that's part mentoring, so find somebody who's been through this journey with you. Part board support, because we often get investors say, actually, the board needs strengthening, so we look for a board appointee. We will help with a grant or a philanthropic application, and we will try to make sure that you have the best advice possible in terms of working with an investment professional who can help you get some kind of social finance. This all came with a proviso if we didn't have a pot of money to start with, so nobody came and said, here's a pot of money, go and lend that. But I would be wrong if I didn't say that I had an ambition to make sure that in the future the West Midlands does have a pot of money that could start to fill this gap. What you can see on the board in front of you is we had over 40 applications, expressions of interest for this scheme. We shortlisted 20. We saw 12 at, I made somebody smile this one, I think it was Nick, said, we don't do Dragon's Den, we do Lion's Den. Lion's Den, slightly more heart and a bit less fire and scale. So we had a Lion's Den panel and we put them through, and we're going to support 11 different organisations that you can see here. Some of them are ready or getting ready for investment, need a small amount of work. We split them into 3 groups. The other group really are looking for some kind of asset-backed investment, which again, we think we can work with them. And the third group really are very much at the start-up and probably need quite a lot of pre-investment support and work. But we're pleased to be able to support them. We're just starting out on our journey, and I look forward to giving you some update as we work with them over the next 6 to 12 months.